why black dogs can have brown puppies. A quick recap. When genes mutate, they create alleles. Some are dominant and some are recessive. You need a copy of the recessive allele from both parents for it to be expressed. So when it comes to colours, some colours can be passed from one generation to the next without you knowing. Black and brown dogs. The B locus has a dominant and recessive allele. A dog with one or two dominant alleles will be black. A dog with two recessive alleles will be brown. Let's use a Punnett square to work out what B genes our black dogs have to carry to have brown pups. By filling in the squares, we can see that if both parents have two copies of the dominant allele, they cannot have brown pups. So what combination do we need? What would happen if either mum or dad had one copy of the recessive allele? That doesn't work either. All the pups would still be black. What do we need to do to have brown pups? Okay, if both parents having two copies of the dominant allele doesn't work, and one parent having two copies of the dominant allele and the other having one copy of the dominant and one copy of the recessive allele doesn't work either, then it must mean that both parents need one copy of the dominant and one copy of the recessive allele, right? Okay, let's see what happens when mum and dad both have one copy of that recessive allele. Finally, we worked it out. Both mum and dad need to carry a copy of the recessive allele and pass it on to the pups for it to be expressed. It's important to remember genes are passed on randomly. So, 1, we cannot predict the number of pups in a litter that will be black or brown. 2, we cannot predict if a black pup has two copies of the dominant allele or one copy of the recessive and one copy of the dominant allele. But 3, we do know that any brown puppies will have two copies of the recessive allele. So I think it's safe to say, dog genetics, it's a little bit complicated. Watch out for more videos coming soon.